Okay, there's a quick video on the shed wash up. Okay, by this point the cups should all be washed and hung up, and the backing gate should either be back to home position or on its way back to home position. If not, it needs to be set up now. Okay, first step for the wash process is push the pump out button, which is the very top button up here, which pumps the remaining milk out of the receiving can. While that's pumping out is a good time to either put the last cow bars away or set the backing gate up if it isn't set already. Once that's finished, it will say on the screen ready. When it's good to go, push the purge button up here, which blows air through the lines to get rid of the last of the milk. Be aware that at certain times of the year, if we're filling the milk trailer or something like that, someone needs to hold it in the trailer when you push that button, or it blows out and makes a mess of everything. If we're just milking into the vat, it's fine. You can just push that button, no problems at all. Second step out here is to take off this dust cap and hang it up to somewhere. It has to go in this area so that we know where it is, and put the jet line on. And this brings water to the jet lines for the wash. Okay, last step out here is to flick both of these to wash. So one's the cup movers, one's the surge, which blasts air with the water to create a better wash. So that's the three steps out here. So pumping the milk out, connecting the jet line, and turning the cup movers to manual. Okay, first thing to do in here is to shut the tap so that the water can't enter the vat. So depending which vat we're filling as to which tap to use, that one or this one. But during the washing process, both taps should be facing down. Next step is to turn off the coolers. So 1, 2, 3. Then undo the filter sock and clean it. If it's not too dirty, give it a rinse, put it back in. If it's a bit grubby, put a new sock on. Okay, next step is sending a cold rinse through. So pull the blue handle out a little bit and up, and that should start it sucking. The wash tub should have been left full already. If not, fill it. And if the water isn't going anywhere, you've either forgotten to turn the cut removers to manual or connect the jet line out in the pit. One of those two steps has been missed. Okay, once you've started putting the cold water through, milk will start coming out the pipe. If it doesn't, then double check that you have remembered to shut those taps, because the milk's going somewhere. It does take a couple of minutes or a minute or so for the milk to come through, but it's very important that the water doesn't end up in the vat. Once the wash tub is empty, turn off the suction and refill the tub with hot water with this tap and this one. So we fill from this cylinder here. The plant is a milking plant. When the wash tub is about 2/3 full, or a third full even, you can start sucking the water through, and then hang on to the pipe down there and wait for the water to start warming up. So the cold water dump on the ground. It's a good idea to wash the concrete or buckets or something that's lying around here with the water at the time. Once the water starts to warm up and get lukewarm, then place the pipe into the tub like so. It'll sit down better, and that creates what's called recycling the water, so that going around in a circle to give the hot water and detergent the contact time it needs to break down the milk proteins. So at this point, once you've got that in, add your detergent, which at the moment is 300 mils, but that may change at certain times. By this point, the cylinder would normally be empty, so it's got a sight glass in it. It'll get down to 25 litres. You'll never get any less than 25 litres out, so don't stand there waiting for that. So once that is empty, shut both taps off again and set it to refilling. So turn it on about halfway is all that we need. for the refill. Okay, so once the water is recycled, the detergent is added and the hot water cylinder is refilling, it's now time to go and hose out the pit. Okay, when hosing the pit, give the yard out the front a hose. The exit race should always be hosed clean, and these holding yards, and importantly that grate down the bottom there, should always be kept clear so that the water can drain away. And then lastly in here is just hosing both sides from the top and making sure to hose the rails, and down in the pit hosing everything out down the far end where it can drain away. And once we finish hosing the pit, or if someone else was doing it, basically the water needs to cycle for sort of 8 to 10 minutes is the optimum amount. You can pull the pipe out, and now again you've got hot water to use if you want to wash buckets or the floor, or try and use it for something that needs a bit of cleaning. And now is a good time to open the drain clips up to let water flow through. This is the overflow for the hot water cylinder, so if water's coming out there, then it's full. So we can turn it off. Okay, once the water has stopped flowing out of the dump pipe, then we can turn the machines off and the feed system, always those two together. Now if you haven't already, now you can take the filter sock apart. So now checking out here, that's the coolers are definitely off, the hot water cylinders are both full and switched on. If it's a night milking, that one may need to be turned on depending on the time of year. All the taps are turned off, so nothing's left filling. The drains are all open, the filter sock is pulled apart, and then any vat with milk in it, the chiller and stirrer is turned on and the chiller is operating. Should be at least under 8 degrees at the end of milking. Should be cooler, but if it's anything over 8, there's something wrong. Okay, then out here we have 3 steps again. So we simply just flick those back to milk, undo the jetty line, and open the clip at the bottom of the receiving can to let that drain. And then now's the final chance to double check the gates are set for the next milking, depending how you want them set for the next milking. Currently the springers are coming in, that's why it's purposely set like that. But yeah, make sure that they're set ready for the next milking. Okay, check both end gates are shut and turn off the lights if they're on. Do a final check that everything is quiet in here. If it's quiet, basically we want to be checked that the wash pump hasn't been left on and that some taps aren't left on overflowing. And then once that's all checked, then time to move on to the next task.